Hi friends, welcome back. This is Amanda with Molly Cole Creations. We are getting started here today with some projects for Mother's Day. This first project, we are starting with some extra pieces of 2x4. They're just kind of random sizes. They were just left over from a different project. Several of these projects in this video you can do with your kids, and that was what I intended. That is why I wanted to do them, to incorporate my littles, that we can make some fun things. And we are using buttons. We have a whole lot of buttons. So I just thought it would be fun to let them do some creating on their own and be involved, for whether they give something to me as their mom or their grandma, their aunts. We have some pretty awesome moms in our lives. So I first get started just by giving these blocks a coat of paint. I do one in blue, one in white, one in red, and one in yellow. And then I do the front, the sides, and the back. I do let Molly kind of figure out what color buttons she wants to use. I let Finn pick out some. And here Molly is kind of putting one of them together. She just selects the buttons that she wants to use. She's laying them out, and then she's going to get them glued on. And it's just fun to have them involved and see how their little brains and their creative juices start flowing. And this one is a really easy one to do that. We're just using glue from the Dollar Tree. It's not super glue, it's not hot glue, so it is something she can handle. And I just love that she even takes a little paper towel to wipe up some of the glue that she got on there. So she does such a great job, and Finn does help us out as well. But we did 4 of these so far. We'll see if we end up making any more. I had a hard time coming up with ideas for this video. I knew I wanted to do some Mother's Day projects, but moms are just, I mean, how do you come up with something good enough for a special mom? It was just, I had a hard time creating something that I thought a mom would enjoy, but when it came down to it, I thought, well, what mom doesn't want something that their kids created for them and played a hand in gifting it to them? So I did have this leafy stuff, and we cut some of that for the stems. And this stuff came from Amazon, I believe. I've had it for a while, but I will put it in the description box if you're ever looking for anything like it. It's just kind of a ribbon, but it looks like leaves. And this was a really easy and fun project that we got to do together. It's colorful, it's happy, and they turned out so very, very cute. And you could do them in any colors you want. There's our white one, and the red one. We did blue buttons on this one, and the yellow one, and the blue one. All so beautiful, and we love them. Can't wait to gift them. Project number 2 is, I needed a square. Or I wanted a square, and I have had this old Dollar Tree sign laying around forever, and I contemplated trying to sand off the glitter or peel back that paper, and then I just thought, no thank you. So I paint the back, and I do end up covering what was the front with some scrapbook paper, so you don't see any of that Christmas or any of that glitter, any of that jazz. And we are painting the frame as well in blue. This blue comes from, it's the brand DIY, and it is called Prom Dress. Now once I got it kind of saturated with paint, I realized that paper frame was just peeling off. So I just peeled off the rest of it and just painted the cardboard. And that worked out just fine. And we got that good and dry along with the white frame portion of it, and I glued that frame back on. Now I did cut a decal with the Cricut onto some vinyl. I do cut a few decals in this video. They are all done with the Cricut on gray permanent vinyl. Just a soft gray, it's not stark black, and I thought it would just go with all the projects that we were doing. This one just says be happy, and you can see I lost my little period there at the end, so I'm just adding that. And then again, Molly and I just pull out some buttons. We're creating different flowers. We're using yellow in the middle, and I kind of line it up and give her an idea of what I had in mind for the project, but at the same time too, I just kind of let her run with it. Her and Finn picked out some different colors that I hadn't pulled out for them, but I let them take the reins and make this their own. And she starts gluing and adding and changing things around, but the way that she ended up finishing it up is absolutely perfect. I do stand by so that we don't end up with an entire bottle of glue on this little piece, and I kind of do help with that portion of it. But she went back, she needed some more colors, so that's okay. She just kept wanting to add and add. She probably would have made a dozen of these. She had so much fun, and it turns out just really, really beautiful, and it would be unique to each child that made one. None would be the same. And again, I do end up helping her get it all glued down because she was a bit heavy-handed with that glue, but that is okay. We don't mind a little extra glue when our littles are making us something beautiful, and it dries clear, so no harm done. Once we get everything glued and we let that glue dry for a little bit, it doesn't dry super quick like super glue does, but I'm just feeding that same beaded twine hanger back through it using a little bit of blue tape because it was fraying, and I'm just going to tie it back up how it was. There you'll see there is some scrapbook paper on the back, so no one will ever know except us that this was once upon a time a Dollar Tree Christmas little hanging sign. But we love the way that this looks. You can just set it on a shelf, or you could hang it. Ours is just sitting on the shelf at this point. We're not sure who we're going to gift it to just yet. We will have a little family get-together on Mother's Day, and we want to be able to show each mama that is there how grateful we are for them. And there she is. And just like the sign says, it does just kind of make you feel happy. And the buttons are just a really fun thing to work with. And when you have so many of them, you got to figure out ways to use them. This is project number 3. I did cut this from my machine. I didn't have any little wooden houses on hand from anywhere, but I wanted to use a little house, so I cut this little design out with my laser cutter, and I pulled out this scrapbook paper. It is from Hobby Lobby. It's one of those 6x6 packs, and so it's a little too small for this, but we made it work. And you can't even tell that I had to kind of patch that little roof. This paper. It's by Paper Studio, and it's called Blushy Floral. And it was $11.99, but I'm sure that I did not pay full price for that. It was 40% off. Anyhow, I did use the Waverly wax paint and painted this roof and the front of the house up, and I set those off to dry. And then I use just a glue stick. Well, I traced this out first of all, just with a pencil, and cut it out to fit the best that I could. And then I do have to trace off just a little corner for the very top of that roof, so no big deal. Oh, and then I have to show you why. Why are there toothpicks in my glue stick? This is another bonus of crafting with children. You never know what you might find. Literally toothpicks just shoved in there for no reason at all. Anyhow, I kind of clean that up, pull those out, and I just apply this scrapbook paper straight on to the MDF. No big deal. It was straight cuts. I didn't have to sand anything. I didn't have to go around any quarters. It was super easy, and just trimmed off that little piece for the roof, and you can barely tell. You gotta look really close to even know that I had to piece it together. Then I glue this wooden top down and the roof down. For this, I am using the Surebond Thick super glue, and look how cute that is. I match up the little roof piece to make sure it's in the right spot, and we cut another decal for this one. Mom makes a house a home, and I just measured it so it would fit right in to that middle, or that space there on the bigger space. And I think it turned out really cute. It's very sweet. I love the little flowers on the, I think they're probably daisies, on this cardstock, and I think it's just really sweet. We do use some stickers from the Dollar Tree, and I think they probably still carry these. I have had these for years. They were just in a drawer of stickers. But anyway, I thought this yellow just made it a really fun added touch on this roof. And we do use these Dollar Tree stickers for another project in this video as well. It ended up turning out really cute. But there is that. There is our little house. Moms make a house a home. I think that just turned out really sweet. And we will display this one. I'm probably just keeping this one for me, but it's gonna look really cute on one of my little tables. Now for our next project. These are planks from the Dollar Tree. They come with, I want to say maybe 5. I'd have to look at the package. And I pulled out this little miter saw. It was raining here this day. My husband wasn't home either, and I can't lift our actual saw to get it out of the garage. But this also can just show you don't need power tools to cut wood. Also, this is really thin wood, so it was relatively easy to cut. So I trimmed 2 down to the length that I wanted, and then I took a third one and just cut it directly in half. And I am using the same Waverly wax paint mixed with water. I do the front and the back and the sides on both of these. And then on the third one that I cut in half, I painted those black. These are going to become magnets. Moms use a lot of magnets, or at least I do. I have kids' artworks, I have kids' lunch menus, their school calendars, notes from the teacher, things like that. And my kids are always bringing me something. Hang this on the fridge, Mom. So why not have like some really cute magnets? These are those same stickers from the Dollar Tree. I just kind of picked and chose a few of them. I did use Well, it's not Mod Podge. It's similar. This is actually by DIY. It's called Liquid Patina. It is very similar to Mod Podge. These are stickers. They do have adhesive, but I wanted them to be more permanent than just the adhesive that was on the back. So I do apply that liquid patina on the back. These stickers kind of have a little pop-out area as well, which it just provides dimension. But I did put the liquid patina all over the front of them as well, just to give added adhesion and to hopefully provide more permanent solution to these magnets. But I already put them on my fridge, and I think they are so fun. It's just a simple little project for, the pack of 5 was probably, when I bought them, they were $1, but now it'd be $1.25. A couple of packs of stickers, so you can make all this for, $3. I did put a couple of magnets on these larger ones because I wasn't sure where I'd want to hang and what I'd want to hang. And these magnets are pretty snappy. They are heavy duty, and I've used them before with thicker wood pieces that do hold. They also come from Amazon in kind of a big pack, which I will link below. I don't recall or have any idea what I paid for them. It has been a bit. But that's how they all turned out, and I think they are so cute and fun. And I think a mom would just love to receive these from their kids and know that they thought of them when they were making them. Now, project number 5, I just pulled up some family pictures. I put them into Canva, and I made them in pretty small sizes. So what I'm using here is 1 cube from the Dollar Tree. It was, I believe, 2.25, and the other little ones came from Amazon a while back in a pack that I've just had laying around, and I believe they were 1.5. So I sized all these pictures down in Canva, and I cut them out. And I'm just using regular, computer paper, regular copy paper. I didn't have any photo paper. I didn't have time to get any, and I didn't want to go pick these up from Walgreens or anything like that. So I painted, and I don't have that on camera for some reason. I did give these a coat of that wax, the Waverly wax paint and water mixture. And then after those dried, I just applied that same liquid patina, Mod Podge, medium, and I'm just putting pictures of all my kids. Now, I have 7 kids between myself and my husband. We have 7. So these cube blocks are fun in that we can put a picture of everybody on them, including my husband and I. I put pictures of him and I on the big one, and then I split up the 2 small ones and just put a bunch of random snapshot pictures of all of our kids. And again, what an inexpensive, easy way to display some fun photos of your family and incorporate a lot of pictures. And even if you didn't have a lot of kids, you could just put a bunch of these of 1 or 2 kids. And I think this was just really fun. I do struggle sometimes with family pictures because I can't ever get anyone all together. 2 of them live in Florida. My 3 are older and grown, and it is nearly impossible to get everyone together all at once. But that's how they turned out. I don't know how long, they'll last regarding just the printer paper or the copier paper. But for now, I absolutely love them. I think they are so special and so unique in a way that you can make any mom just feel so special looking at all her lovely, lovely children. And there they are, flipping around. You can display them in different ways. I kind of stacked them on top of each other. I stacked them next to each other. You could even do more cubes. I was just kind of seeing if I would like the idea to begin with, which I ended up loving it. This is project number 6 and our final project. This is a sign. It originally, you can see, came from Ross. I got it from the thrift store. It was $1. It is broken. It had 2 of these clips on there, and the one clip that was still on there, the little top piece had broken off. So I'm just unscrewing it, and I sand it down. Those 2 holes kind of left a little bit of a gap, so I sand all of that up, and I give this a proper coat of just regular white paint. Rust-Oleum chalk paint is what I used. Now to cover the white paint, I mixed up some milk paint. I didn't want a full coat of milk paint, a full coat of pink paint. I wanted it to show some of that white underneath. Milk paint does not provide full coverage unless you mix it to do so. This just requires 1 part powder, 1 part water. So I didn't need a whole lot of it. And I've had this sample. It is by Sweet Pickins, and it is called First Crush. And I've had it for quite some time, and I really wanted to see what shade of pink this will be, and it's beautiful. There's lots of pinks just like this, but this one did look really pretty. Now, you don't get to see me do it because apparently my phone had died, but I did apply a decal in that same gray permanent vinyl. This is an Iron Orchid design transfer book. It is called Wanderless, I don't know, Wander, I think. I'll link it. And it has just many pages as I flipped through right there looking for what I wanted to use of just beautiful flowers. And so I cut out a few that I wanted to use. Now, I know you can get transfers at Dollar Tree or off Amazon that are fairly affordable. These Iron Orchid ones are a bit pricier than those. However, you get so many that it all kind of just makes it worth it. And they're so beautiful. And my Dollar Tree is not one of those that has like a lot of good stuff. I'm rare to find most of the things that everybody else can find. We don't have the $5 section. We don't have any of the wood section. We have a few little things in the Crafter's Square, but we don't get a lot of the stuff that most people get. Anyhow, I had this already, so that's my explanation. But you could definitely do this with any other beautiful transfer. And I get those applied just little by little. They would come with a little scraper, and then you burnish it down once you have it on there, just to make sure everything is good and stuck. And I just cut a few pieces, laid them out. I did print off a family picture. This family picture is probably like 4 years old at this point, and we're still missing 2 kids in it. But it was one of the only ones I could find that had most of us, at least, in it. And again, I just printed it off on my computer, and I have some extra little like black clips that kind of were on there to begin with. Only the ones that I have don't have screws. They had to be glued. I did super glue the clip originally, and it seemed to hold okay, but then somebody went to go kind of play with it, I guess, and pull the picture out, and it popped right off. So I did end up using some hot glue on that clip, which is just fine. That seems to be working better. And then here I am just kind of fooling around where I want to put things. I do add a few more little leafy greens to it. This quote you can't really see in this clip, but it says, "To the world you are a mother, to our family you are the world." And I just think that is probably the truth with most families. And we always want to remember our moms or any mom-like figures in our lives and all the things that they sacrifice and go through for us, and the late nights and early mornings they spend thinking of their families, and it's just fun to focus on them for a day, just like we do for dads on their big day. And this quote did just come straight off of Cricut, so it wasn't something I designed. You could find it in there already for you. This is everything all put together. And again, thank you so much for joining us on this video. If you are a mom, happy Mother's Day to you. I hope you have the best day and that you get spoiled, or at the very least, I hope you get to have a nap or maybe sleep in. That would be pretty awesome too. Thanks, y'all. I hope you enjoy these projects, and we will see you next time. Have a great week.